you believe me when we say that there is a gold coin here. Right? This is the first, this is the second prize for the class participation. The first prize are the marks, right? I think that's far more important currently, right? The prize comes courtesy of our sponsors, okay? This workshop is being sponsored by ICICI Prudential Asset Management Company. They run a mutual fund. Because we are late, you don't see their banners around, but that will be put up as we speak. Okay. Next one. You do know. I hope. Sorry, what did she say? I hope those who smoke, they know that smoking, apart from a lot of other things, causes potency loss. Right? No? You didn't know that? Okay. Well, now you know. Okay. Okay. So how much does your smoking cost you? How much does your smoking cost you? Give me a figure.
Buy a packet 140 bucks.
140 bucks. And how many a month? How many pack a day?
One pack a day.
So 140 into 30. That's okay, that's 4,000 bucks. Oh. Somebody else a little less of a smoker? Yeah.
He's more of
I'm just going to assume 1/4 of the cost that you just told me. Okay? 1,000 rupees a month. Let's say this smoking is costing you 1,000 rupees a month. Right? How old are you? 20. Okay. Go on. So, with all this smoking, how long do you think you're going to live? I think 60 tops. Okay. So that's 40 years left, right? So if you spend 1,000 rupees a month, just 1,000, I'm not even taking, you'll cut down. You'll cut down. Right? So if you're just spending 1,000 rupees a month, okay, over 40 years, how much money are you going to spend? Come on, this is simple math. 4 lakh, and we can do this without calculators. We are Indians, right? We don't need a calculator to do it. 4 lakh, 80,000, right? Everybody agrees? That's the absolute. And we are taking 25% of the cost you spend. We are not taking inflation. Cigarettes, I remember when I was in college, cigarette used to cost 25 paisa. Okay, even that we could not afford. Okay, but it's going to cost more, right? Plus you're going to have health issues. Plus you're going to, lots of other expenditure, right? We will just... Along with cigarette, you at least that used to be the trend. You buy these halls or mentodents and things like that. That's how that used to be when I was in college, right? So we're not taking all that costs into account. We're not taking health costs into account. Okay, we of course will not take the cost that you incur because of your loss of potency, but okay. We worked out 4 lakh. Sorry, somebody said something about the loss of potency. I think that's an interesting subject.
So I'm saying loss of potency would be beneficial to me because I won't have to spend that much money.
I'm going to come back 5 years later and we'll have a chat. Okay, so 4,80,000, right? 4,80,000 is the cost. Okay? Oops. Okay? But just suppose this over 40 years, this is the absolute minimum that you're going to spend. 4,80,000 rupees a month over 40 years. Right? Now, if this money, instead of spending on blowing it up on smoking, if you were to invest this, right, at 15% per annum. Okay, guess how much it will be? It's 3 crores. Okay, how much is it? And how much expenditure have we taken? 1,000 rupees per month. He's already spending 4, right? Plus all the incidentals, plus it's going to go up, plus all the health cost he is going to incur, okay? Plus, right? Just this 1,000 rupees a month, if he invests at 15% per annum, okay, it's going to be 3 crores at the end of 40 years. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Stop smoking is a good first lesson. Start investing is a good second lesson, right? Use the power of compounding.
Yeah, sorry, I realize you're just trying to illustrate examples here, but when you're talking about investment, do you take into account human nature? Do you take human nature into account when you're talking about investment? Now, we humans are such as that we want immediate gratification for anything. It takes a tremendous amount of self-control to not spend money on something that will satisfy your wants immediately when you're talking about stuff like this. So it's very easy to say, don't spend this much money on cigarettes. But let's take, like my example, I don't smoke at all, but I spend my money on other useless crap. So, I mean, you can't really quantify something like that. I mean, it's very easy to say that, but when it comes to actually doing it, it takes a tremendous amount of
tremendous. So not everybody, right? How do you do this? What is your? How do you do this? Why are some people able to do it and some people not able to do it? Anything? Yeah.
Because people are different. People essentially are different. You have different personalities. You have people who are very, they always think about money, but you have people who are kind of have their head in the clouds. They want to care about money, but somehow things just work out because of the way they are. Suppose people who live really cluttered lives, they don't organize their stuff. They have messy desks. It's about the way people are.
So it's the personality. What he says is some people care about money and are able to act, some are not.
Also, just carrying forward Mikhal said, it is about immediate gratification. If it's materially, say for some people it's cigarettes, for some people it's whatever other devices. And also with investments, people look for return on investments to come back immediately. So they want that kind of turnover to come back to them in a very short amount of time. So as a finance student, well, whatever capacity that I am, I've understood that investments are a long-term discipline. And I think in using investments as an opportunity to learn self-control would be the way I would look at it, because you have to develop the idea of saving, the idea of wanting to multiply, but being patient enough to wait for the results.
Being patient enough is needed. So I think the point, Mikhail, is how do you become patient enough? Somebody wants to talk about that? Somebody at the back, raise the hand. Okay.
So how do you learn unless you do, right?
One. Okay. And one of the things that help people do anything. I mean, money is one thing, right? I'm sure there are people out here who want to lose weight, right? There are people out here who want to do other things, okay? Which are all coming at the cost of some instant gratification, right? It's eat this burger or lose weight, right? Or whatever else, other things that could be there, right? One way in which people are able to do this is to visualize what will happen. Create that visual in front of you, right? This 3 crores, what has happened to this?
It's the projector.
You need to adjust the selective cable.
Is that, for example, the saving, right? 40 years, I agree, is a pretty long time, right? But if you just create a visual, this is how do people succeed in, say, weight loss? Most people, right? They create a visual, okay? This is how I will look like. And this is what I gain by giving up this instant gratification. Something similar. So this is human nature. I absolutely agree. Okay. The attempt here is to understand the rewards of postponing your gratification. And if you create a picture of that, it probably helps you. That I think is the lesson. So I think this is the one. Somebody was asking me when I was saying, I just can't seem to save. Okay, and I think that's where you were saying that, right? And I think that's something that a very wise man has once said, that you must spend after what is left after investing, rather than invest from what is left after spending. Any guesses on who said this? From your parents, okay? Some way in which you are running your expenditure. Whether tomorrow you will be earning money, initially small, later on fairly big money, right? The way to do this is treat only 80% of your income as income. The balance 20%, just take it out up front. It just does not exist. So if you have an allowance of 10,000 rupees, your allowance is 8. You will find that expenses magically adjust to the 8. Just like the expenses magically adjust to the 10. I mean, where did that figure of 10 come from? Right? And that will be true year after year, month. No matter how much is your income, you will never have enough money left to invest. If you follow that, I will invest what is left after spending. So cut your investment right in the beginning. This is one mantra. Please, if you learn this from the workshop, this whole trip from Bombay would have been worth it. Okay? Your income, whatever allowance, income is only 80% of what it is. The balance 20% has to go into investing first. It goes first, not later. And you just don't, if you don't have money, what do? You adjust, no? Okay? So you call up, Papa, I want to go for this great show by, who's a good band nowadays? What's a good band?
That's a matter of.
Akshita never makes this demand, so I don't know. Thank you, Akshita. Okay. Okay. So, I want to go for this band, right? And the tickets are going to cost 3,000 rupees. Can you please give me? And your father says, no. Okay. Right? What do? You don't go. Right? So, something similar. I think investing 20% of your income through, and we will today not get into, so those of you are, I don't really want to get into what you should invest in. Okay? We can do that post this workshop is over. We can, for those of you who are interested. I think right now for you, it is important that you get into the habit that you invest 20%. It can be in a recurring deposit in a bank. That's the safest. Just get into that habit, that your income is only 80%. And expenses, believe me, will magically try it for a month, try it for 2 months. You will find your expenses magically adjust. Right? You can do this at any stage of your life. So this is the third rule, right? Follow the 20% investment rule. Okay, how many of you have credit cards? Okay. No. Okay. Or debit cards. Okay. But I will talk about the credit cards first, right? So, ever wonder? So when you swipe,
I never used it.
You never used it. Anybody who's used a credit card? Yes, you have, right? So what have you bought with your credit card? Give me one example. A flute. Okay. So let's say when he bought this food, this cost him 1,000 rupees, right? So he gives this card to the shopkeeper swipes it for 1,000 rupees, right? And he gives him the food. How much does the shopkeeper get? How much does the shopkeeper get? Does he get the full 1,000? No. What will the credit card companies do? Okay. The shopkeeper gets about 980 rupees, roughly 15 to 20 rupees will get deducted, right? Now if you paid cash also, the shopkeeper would have given you for 1,000. You paid by card, he gets 15 rupees less or 20 rupees less on a 1,000 rupee bill. Okay, in most likelihood the shopkeeper is a Marwadi like me. Okay, now why does he agree? Why does he agree to accept a credit card? Any guesses? Yes.
Because see, a credit card is a lot more convenient for customers, so he'd rather.
What do I care? I want to make money. Convenient for you. Why should I pay for the convenience?
They still charge you extra.
Okay, we'll not talk about only food. They don't charge you extra, right?
No, even other shopkeepers they add on 2%.
In some thing, actually that's illegal. They are not supposed to add on. Okay, but we'll take cases where they don't add on. Okay. So why do they accept? Any guesses? Some guesses.
It increases his potential, like it allows him to get more customers.
It allows him to get more customers. Okay.
Because of the convenience factor.
Because of the convenience factor. So that's what he cares about, right? More business.
The customer doesn't think like he's spending, so he has a more chance of like giving the money out to the customers.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, okay, we just watch a very wise man describe why shopkeepers accept credit cards, okay, and some other mysteries of life. So there is this. What did we learn from this?
You usually end up spending more than you can afford with a credit card.
You usually do impulse purchase. You may be able to afford, but you clearly will do. It's a proven fact. Okay. There is this concept of pain of paying. In fact, try this experiment. Okay. And probably in the Indian context, this is addressed to the boys. Okay, I mean, go with your girlfriend to this restaurant. At one time, pay by cash. So same restaurant, same company, same ambience. Once pay the tip by cash, second time pay it by credit card. Okay, and you will find that the same person with similar constraints ends up giving more tip when he tips by a credit card. Right? So there is something about the pain of paying that makes you make only necessary expenditure. You saw that how difficult it was to pay by cash. In fact, the research says that if you pay by clean currency, absolutely kadak note, okay, you will end up spending even less. Okay, because you hate to part with clean cash, right? So increase the pain of paying. Just increase. Okay. Debit cards, are they better than credit cards?
Yes.
Are a little better because the pain of paying is there, right? It's a little bit, at least it's less than cash, but it's more than credit card. Okay, so use cash or debit cards. Okay, and what's wrong with cash? I mean, for small value purchases, what's wrong with cash? Okay, and if you do use credit cards, I mean, not too many people here, but this is a good lesson for the future. If you do use credit cards are very useful. You have an emergency flight to catch, you have an emergency expenditure, credit cards are absolutely a complete tool. But make sure you pay off 100% at the end of the month. Interest rates on credit cards, if you choose to just pay 10% and pay the balance, can be as high as 60% per annum. I mean, the banks there give us Marwadis a bad name. Okay? Clearly, never borrow on a credit card. The day you have to borrow on your credit card, you are in trouble. So, don't be a credit card. What about loans? How many of you are aware of loans? Any education loans? Anybody has taken an education loan here? Nobody. Okay. Gokul there. Okay. Any other loan? Ever taken a loan?
Housing.
A housing loan? Have you taken?
My parents.
Your parents have taken. Okay. Okay. What we will do? You may or may not relate to. We'll quickly see. I follow this Baba. Okay. I have a couple of Babas. One was an Israeli Baba called Dan Ariely. Okay. This one is the Bollywood Baba. Okay. Very famous Baba. I'm sure you know him.
So,
how can you be so irresponsible?
hey, Shona, chill यार. सारे पैसे अभी थोड़ी देने. अभी तो बाद में installments, monthly, 5 साल, chill यार.
This can't go wrong at all.
So, hey, what are you guys doing? Where are you taking my car?
Pay back the loan, take back your car.
पूरा 1 साल हो गया है. कमाई $1 की नहीं हुई. बैंक बैलेंस ऑलमोस्ट 0. क्रेडिट कार्ड्स कैंसिल कर दिए गए हैं. वी आर लकी फोन्स काम कर रहे हैं. पानी आ रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है. ऐसे जल्दी इन सब की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी.
क्यों?
हाउस लोन, इंस्टॉलमेंट्स 6 महीने की.
So big deal. थोड़ा सामान बेच के हम
नहीं बेच सकते. हमारा कुछ है ही नहीं. सब कुछ तो लोन पे या तो क्रेडिट कार्ड पे लिए है. ये फर्नीचर, कारपेट, पर्दे, हमारे कपड़े, तुम्हारा ये सूट, यहाँ तक कि तुम्हारे जूते भी.
ओके तो सब कुछ लोन लेके खरीदा है. अब वापस करने में थोड़ी देर तो हो ही जाती है ना. सो घर से तो नहीं निकाल देंगे. They can't do that.
Well, it seems they can. So what did we learn from the Bollywood Baba? Sorry?